I spent 30 years in tech, and I know that when a system is this compromised, you don't keep patching. You wipe the drives and rebuild from bare metal. Most of you are out here trying to function on an operating system that's been corrupted for years, running at 20% capacity with no reserves. It's time to go dark for 90 days. Rebuild the architecture and come back as a version of yourself that nobody recognizes. Let me tell you what I see when I look at the average man under 35. I see a man running a life he didn't design. His habits, his goals, his daily routine, his definition of success, most of it is inherited code. Scripts his parents wrote, scripts the education system wrote, scripts the algorithm wrote, and none of it was optimized for him. It was optimized for the person who wrote it. Your mother's script was optimized for her anxiety. Your school's script was optimized for compliance. The algorithm script was optimized for engagement metrics. You loaded all of it without ever auditing the source, and now you're wondering why nothing works the way it should. That's the lag. You feel it every morning. That heaviness when the alarm goes off, that gap between what you plan to do and what you actually do. That slow, grinding sense that you're falling behind without being able to point at a specific failure. It's not depression. It's not laziness. It's systemic overload. Your operating system is bloated with processes that aren't yours, running routines that don't serve you, and every day the performance degrades a little more. Eventually, the whole thing locks up. You're staring at your life, nothing is moving, and you can't figure out why. The current system is compromised. We're running a manual override. That manual override is the 90-day disappearance. And I need you to understand, this isn't a challenge. This isn't monk mode, where you post your cold shower on Instagram and call it discipline. This is a full system rebuild. You are going dark from the world, from social media, from the opinions of people who don't matter, from the daily noise that keeps you locked in the drift for 90 days. When you come back, you will be operating on different principles. The people who knew you won't recognize the man. That's the point. Let me walk you through the 4 phases. Phase 1, the firewall. Days 1 through 21. This is cognitive security from my book, Fortress of the Mind. Before you can rebuild your system, you have to stop new contamination from loading. That's what the firewall phase does. For the first 21 days, you install the analog anchor. 1 hour of zero input per day. No phone, no screens, no podcasts, no music, no social media. 1 hour where the only thing running is your own unmediated mind. Why? 21 days. Because that's roughly how long it takes to break the dopamine dependency that the algorithm installed. Your phone has been feeding your reward system a hit every 11 minutes for years. That's not a habit. That's a chemical dependency. And for the first week of the anchor, your system is going to resist. You'll feel restless, agitated, bored in a way that feels almost painful. Your hand will reach for your pocket every few minutes. That's the withdrawal. That's the dependency trying to reestablish its connection. Let it fail. Don't fight it. Don't meditate through it. Just sit with it and let the process run. By day 10, the noise thins. By day 14, you start hearing your own thinking for the first time in months. By day 21, the firewall is installed. You've created a protected hour in your daily schedule where no external influence has access. That protected hour is where the rest of the work happens. But the firewall isn't just the analog anchor hour. During phase 1, you're also cutting the social inputs, not permanently, for 90 days. You stop posting, you stop scrolling, you stop updating people on what you're doing. you go dark. Not because social media is evil, because social media is a performance engine, and performance is the enemy of reconstruction. You can't rewire your operating system while simultaneously broadcasting the process to an audience that's evaluating every frame. The disappearance has to be real. The people in your life will notice. Some will ask if you're okay. Tell them you're fine. Tell them you're working on something, and then give them nothing else. The silence is the firewall. The less you explain, the more protected the process is. I want to be specific about what going dark means, because I know some of you will try to negotiate with this. Going dark doesn't mean I'll just post less. It means you post nothing. 0. For 90 days. No stories, no updates, no cryptic status messages hinting that you're on some transformation. Nothing. Because the moment you broadcast the process, you've activated the performance loop. Your brain gets a dopamine hit from the validation, the likes, the proud of you bro comments, and it starts counting that validation as progress. But it's not progress. It's applause for an announcement. And announcements are the #1 way men sabotage their own rebuilds. I've seen it 100 times. A guy decides to change his life. Day 1, he posts a long message about his new chapter. He gets 200 likes. His brain registers that as a win. The dopamine hits. And the urgency to, actually do the work drops by 50% because his reward system already got paid. He hasn't done anything yet. He's just described what he's going to do. And the world treated that description like an achievement. By day 4, he's back to scrolling. By day 10, the new chapter post is buried in his feed. And so is the motivation. The disappearance prevents that. No audience means no performance. No performance means the only way your brain gets rewarded is by actually keeping the promise. The promises kept ratio becomes the only dopamine source. And that's the point. Phase 2, the diagnostic. Days 22 through 45. This is the drift diagnostic from my book, Breaking the Drift, and the competence audit from my book, Competence Cure. Now that the firewall is up and you can actually hear your own system, it's time to run a diagnostic. And the diagnostic has one metric that matters more than anything else. Your promises kept ratio, PKR. Here's how it works. Every day you make a list of commitments to yourself, not goals, not dreams, not visions, commitments, your specific, measurable actions you will complete today. I will train for 45 minutes. I will read for 30 minutes. I will work on the project for 2 hours. I will be in bed by 10:30. At the end of the day, you score it. Binary. Did you do it or didn't you? Yes or no? No partial credit. No, well, I did most of it. The math is clean. Your PKR is the number of promises kept divided by the number of promises made, expressed as a percentage. Most men in the drift, and I mean most, are running a PKR below 20%. They make 5 promises to themselves every morning and keep 1, or none. And every broken promise is a withdrawal from their self-trust account. They don't trust themselves because they have no mathematical reason to. Their own data says they don't follow through, so their confidence drops. And when confidence drops, ambition drops. And when ambition drops, they stop making promises altogether. That's the drift spiral. Low PKR leads to low confidence, leads to low effort, leads to even lower PKR. The whole system degrades into autopilot. The fix is simple and it's painful. Start small, brutally small. Make 3 promises on day 22. Keep all 3. 100% PKR. Day 23, same thing. 3 promises, 100%. Day 24, 3 promises, 100%. You're not trying to change your life in a week. You're rebuilding trust with your own operating system. You're generating evidence-based confidence. Confidence backed by data, not by a motivational video you watched at 2 a.m. that made you feel something for 11 minutes. By day 30, you'll notice something shifting. The promises you're making start getting harder because you trust yourself to keep them. I will train for 45 minutes becomes, I will train for 60 minutes and add a skill session. I will work on the project for 2 hours becomes, I will finish the first module and test it. Your capacity is expanding because your system trusts the man at the controls. That's the diagnostic working. Simultaneously, you run the competence audit from my book, Competence Cure. This is your skills assessment. Where are your abilities actually allocated? Not where you think they are, where they actually are. Can you fix something with your hands? Can you cook a meal from scratch? Can you manage your own finances without an app doing the math? Can you hold a difficult conversation without folding? Can you sustain focused work for 2 hours without checking your phone? Be honest. Most men find massive gaps, entire categories of capability with nothing in them. Physical skills, financial literacy, interpersonal directness, sustained focus. These gaps aren't character flaws. They're training deficits. That anxiety you feel when you think about starting a business, that's not imposter syndrome. That's your system correctly reporting that you don't have the skills to execute. The fix isn't therapy. The fix is training. Identify the 3 biggest gaps in your capability stack and start filling them every day. During the diagnostic phase, you're not just tracking your PKR, you're mapping where the foundation is cracked and starting the work to repair it. Phase 3, the physical rebuild, days 46 through 75. This is the physical base from my book, The Stronghold. Now we're in the grind. And I mean that literally. Phase 3 is where you start to physically change. Because here's something the self-improvement space gets completely wrong. Confidence is not a mindset. Confidence is physical. It lives in your body, in your nervous system, in the feedback loop of doing hard things and surviving them. During the physical rebuild, you're training every day. Not optional, not when I feel like it, every single day for 30 days. The training doesn't have to be the same thing. Lift weights 3 days, do a combat sport 2 days, run a ruck 1 day, rest 1 day. But the session happens. That's a promise. It goes on the PKR tracker, and the PKR tracker doesn't accept excuses. Here's what happens between day 46 and day 75. Your body changes, not dramatically at first, but enough that you notice. The way you stand shifts, the way you walk shifts, the tension in your shoulders drops, your sleep improves, your appetite stabilizes, your energy stops crashing at 2 p.m. These aren't motivational platitudes. These are physiological adaptations. Your nervous system is recalibrating to a higher baseline because you're putting it under controlled stress every day, and it's responding. But the physical rebuild isn't just training. It's also the supply chain of one. During this phase, you start building tangible skills and tangible assets. Learn to cook properly, not just feeding yourself, but actually producing good food from raw ingredients. Learn basic maintenance, how to fix things in your living space without calling someone. Start your chaos buffer if you haven't, even if it's $50 a week into a separate account. The point is to build things you can touch and verify. Physical evidence that you are becoming a more capable man. Every skill you add, every dollar you save, every meal you cook, everything you fix, that's a line item in your evidence-based confidence ledger. It's not a feeling. It's a fact with a number attached to it. By day 75, the grind has done its work. Your PKR should be consistently above 80%. Your capability stack has new branches that didn't exist 3 months ago. Your body is carrying itself differently because the physical foundation has been rebuilt. You are measurably a different man than the one who went dark on day one. Not because you believed in yourself, because you rebuilt the system from the ground up, one kept promise at a time. Phase 4, the reappearance. Days 76 through 90. This is status signaling from my book, The Visual Resume. Now you come back. And how you come back matters. Because people read you in the first 30 milliseconds. Before you say a word, before you hand them a resume, before you tell them what you've been working on. They read your posture, your eye contact, your grooming, the way you enter a room, the way you occupy space. In my framework, this is the biology of respect. The neurological hardware that causes humans to instantly categorize other humans as high competence or low competence based on nonverbal cues. The reappearance phase is about ensuring that your external presentation matches the internal rebuild you've been running for 75 days. Get a haircut, clean up your wardrobe, not to be vain, because your appearance is the first signal the world receives, and if it doesn't match the competence you've built, you're carrying first-rate capability in a third-rate package. The mismatch costs you. But the real reappearance isn't cosmetic, it's behavioral. The way you speak has changed because the analog anchor cleared the noise and the PKR rebuilt your self-trust. You say less. What you say carries more weight. You don't fill silences with nervous chatter because silence doesn't make you uncomfortable anymore. You've been sitting in it for an hour a day for 2.5 months. You hold eye contact without effort because your confidence is backed by evidence, not performance. You make decisions faster because your system trusts the man at the controls. People will notice. They won't know what changed. They'll say, you look different, or something's different about you, and they won't be able to articulate what it is. What's different is everything. The operating system is different. The physical foundation is different. The way you present is different. The man running the life is different. And the difference is visible in every signal you broadcast, whether you're trying to broadcast it or not. I had a 23-year-old reach out to me last year after running a version of this protocol. He said when he walked into his first job interview after the 90 days, the interviewer stopped mid-question and said, "You seem really confident for someone your age." He hadn't said anything confident. He hadn't used any interview hack or power pose. He was just sitting there, making eye contact, answering questions without rushing, not filling the silence with filler words. The interviewer was reading his nonverbal signal, the signal of a man whose PKR is above 80%, whose body has been trained for 3 months, whose attention isn't fragmented by algorithm noise. That signal is louder than anything you can say with words, and you can't fake it. You can only build it. That's why the 90 days matter. That's why the grind matters. The reappearance isn't a costume change. It's the external expression of an internal rebuild that took 2,160 hours to complete. That's the 90-day disappearance. 4 phases. 21 days of Firewall, 24 days of Diagnostic, 30 days of physical rebuild, 15 days of reappearance, and the man who completes it is not the same man who started it, not mentally, not emotionally, not physically, and not in any way that can be faked. So here's your one action, the one that starts the whole chain. Tomorrow morning, go dark. 1 hour. Zero input. Pen and paper. Start the firewall. Make 3 promises to yourself for the day. Keep all 3. Score your PKR at midnight. That's day 1, 89 to go. Don't tell anyone you're doing it. Don't post about it. Don't explain it. The silence is the protocol. The results are the proof. And when you reappear in 90 days as a man who has rebuilt himself from the foundation up, you won't need to explain what happened. They'll see it. 30 milliseconds. That's all it takes. Wipe the system. Rebuild the architecture. Come back unrecognizable. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. It keeps the motor running. And if you'd like to learn more, check out my books on Amazon or click the links below